Mr. Kolade owns how many square meters? 10,000 square meters of land in Banana. I like to use it as an example.
You're making
Banana Island.
You're making all the sense now.
Not in Ayobo.
I know. We're not even mentioning areas like that. We're mentioning the places that matter.
Everywhere matters. Everywhere matters. But some all fingers are equal. Animal farm, but some fingers are more equal.
That's what we are saying.
I could confidently say that because this is an industry where I play in, off-plan property offers very, very good advantages. Number one is that you buy at a very low rate. So you want to buy a property in Ikoyi or in Lekki or in Ibedu-Lekki or Etios, as the case may be. And to build that structure, it would cost, maybe from inception to completion, it would cost about 30 million. Including variances, increases in building materials and all. So another advantage is that for an off-plan property, it is an edge against inflation. Thank God Mr. Omole is in the studio with us. He's a lecturer at the Lagos Business School and somebody that has vast experience. He will tell us that the money market failed in February of this year. So if you put your money in the bank, with due respect, money in the bank doesn't really appreciate. I stand to be corrected. It doesn't really appreciate. We're here on this show, and we announced to our listeners that we were going to have home allotment ceremony in one of our projects, Cedarwood Luxury Apartments and Terraces. This was a project we started off plan last year around December, and when we started off plan, even before we started building, we sold at 24.5 million for a 3-bedroom terrace duplex with a GQ. But currently now, upon completion, even before completion, the building sold for 28 million.
About 4 million.
If you do the mathematics, that's about 15% interest or ROI within a space of 6 months. The beautiful thing about real estate is that the least price you can sell is the price you bought. This is one of the advantages you get when you subscribe to an off-plan property. You get an edge against inflation. You can also decide the level of your commitment. So investors, please take note of the following. Number one, there is an issue of documentation or title. Subscribers need to be mindful of documentation and title. They need to know who is the owner of the property. Sometimes developers are not the legal owners of the properties that they develop.
So what do you see on one particular documentation that drives you to that point? Say, okay, this is a red flag. Let me confirm. Let me check who the owner is. Let me check. What do I need to know? What stands out in this information that will make me know that, okay, I'm not supposed to deposit at this point. Okay, I'm not supposed to dive into this business. Because if we say that documentation, anybody sees a document and then feels, people manipulate documents. So anybody sees a document and then you're wondering.
Some of these red flags are in between the lines. They're not usually obvious. And that is the place of engaging a professional.
I almost wanted to say that because you see, the legal documents, as much as they look like English,
they are really not. Let me even shock you, sir. There is a difference legally between a deposit and a part payment. One is fatal, very fatal. If you make a deposit for a property, it is non-refundable. In law, a deposit for a property is non-refundable. So when you buy an off-plan property and in the documents, maybe in the application form or the subscription form, and they say initial deposit or the deposit of this amount, if that transaction becomes the subject matter of a legal dispute, you might lose out. So it is safer to use the word part payment. The Supreme Court adjudicated on this in the case of Eka versus Kuju in 2013. When you have fulfilled your part, your obligation in a contractual relationship, you are entitled to sue for specific performance. Specific performance is to approach a court or a judicial body to compel the other party to fulfill their own side of the obligation.
Now,
each case will be treated on its merit. Now, how these damages are assessed would depend on the value